Hello dear friends, I am Dr. Neha Rai, Associate Professor in the Department of Anatomy. Hope you all are really doing well with your online studies. Keeping yourself healthy, fit and fine. Today we are going to start with a topic that is called as posterior triangle of neck. Before starting this topic, I would like to tell you that from head and neck, this posterior triangle of neck comes as a long question. So we should be very clear with this topic. While studying this topic, what all points we should know? While writing an answer also, I know dear students that you have a lot of knowledge of anatomy, but when it comes to express that knowledge in the form of an answer, you should be very clear, you should be very precise, to the point, because you have to score marks while writing, while appearing for an exam. So these posterior triangle of neck should be under these headings, that is introduction of this part, boundaries of the triangle, roof, of course floor, along with that how this triangle is divided into two subdivisions, contents, diagram and applied anatomy. All these points should be there in your answer sheet. So we are going to start with the introduction. What is the location of this posterior triangle of neck? This diagram shows neck. Okay, this diagram is showing a neck region which is connecting thorax from head. So this quadrangular part, this is called as neck. This is called as neck. Now this quadrangular part is divided into two parts, anterior part and a posterior part, by a muscle which is called as the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is the sternal head and this is the clavicular head. These are the two heads of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. This one is a sternal head which is arising from the sternum. This one is a clavicular head which is arising from the clavicle. Both these bellies, they will fuse and they will form sternocleidomastoid muscle, and ultimately both these bellies will fuse and this muscle will get inserted onto the mastoid process. This is the mastoid process which is present just behind your ear. If you want to palpate, you can palpate and see that there is a mastoid process which is present there. So this muscle, sternocleidomastoid muscle, is dividing the neck into two triangles. The triangles which are present in front of sternocleidomastoid muscle, this part, or the triangles which are present here, they are called as anterior triangle. They are called as anterior triangles. And one triangle which is present behind the neck, that is called as posterior triangle. All the shaded area which is here, which you can see green color, they are anterior, they come under anterior triangles. And this area where you can see a yellow color, that depicts posterior triangle. So this is a triangular space, okay, as the name is suggesting, posterior triangle. So posterior means behind the sternocleidomastoid, and what is the shape? It is triangular in shape. So this is a triangular shape which is present in neck and behind the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So anterior to this triangle, which muscle is present? Sternocleidomastoid muscle. And posterior to this triangle, what is present is this muscle is trapezius. Okay, this one is trapezius. Is that clear? Now one more thing you can see in this triangle, this is the inferior belly of omohyoid muscle, okay, and this is the superior belly. This one is the superior belly, this one is the inferior belly. So we have seen the location of posterior triangle of neck. It is a triangular space which is situated behind the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Now next we are moving on to the boundaries. It has 4 boundaries. First one is anterior, then posterior, we have apex and we have base, because it is a triangle. This space is a triangle. So this is the anterior boundary. This is the anterior border. This one is the posterior border. As you can see, this anterior border, this is formed by this green color muscle is sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is the anterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, and this is the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. So anterior border is formed by posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, and posterior border of the triangle. This is the posterior border of the triangle. This has been formed by anterior border of trapezius. This muscle is trapezius. So it is formed by anterior border of trapezius muscle. So these are the 2 borders. This one is the anterior border, which has been formed by posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, and this is the posterior border, which has been formed by anterior border of trapezius. Now there are 2 things, that is base. This one is the base, okay, or inferior border. This is the base. This is formed by middle 1/3 of the clavicle. It is formed by a bone, that is middle 1/3 of the clavicle. And this apex is formed at the level of superior nuchal line. This is the occipital region, and in occipital region we have seen that there are nuchal lines. So this is the nuchal line. What do we have here? Nuchal line. At this nuchal line, we can see the meeting point of these 2 muscles. The first muscle is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and behind we have trapezius muscle. So this is forming the apex. So this one is the anterior border. Once again I am repeating, this is the anterior border, which is formed by posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. This is the posterior border. It is being formed by anterior border of trapezius. This is the base, which is being formed by middle 1/3 of the clavicle. This is the apex at the level of nuchal line, superior nuchal line, where both the muscles are meeting, that is trapezius and sternocleidomastoid muscle. Okay. So I hope boundaries are clear. Now whole of the neck is being covered by skin. Okay. This triangle is having boundaries, a roof and a floor. So roof is being first formed by skin. As soon as we are going to remove the skin, there comes superficial fascia. So this, what we are able to visualize, is superficial fascia. And in this superficial fascia we have a muscle that is called as platysma. Along with that, 2 cutaneous veins, that is, this one is external jugular vein, and behind to this we have posterior jugular vein. Okay, so this is external jugular vein and this is posterior jugular vein. Along with that you can see few nerves. Okay, so these are cutaneous nerves, and below this superficial fascia we have investing layer of deep cervical fascia. So what all structures we have seen in roof? We are moving from outside to inside. First we have seen boundaries, now we are seeing roof. First structure in the roof is skin. Just below the skin we have superficial fascia, which is having platysma, which is having jugular veins. So this is, so these are the veins, external jugular vein and posterior jugular vein, along with that cutaneous nerves. Just below the nerves we have investing layer of deep cervical fascia. All these structures, they are forming the roof. Now we should know which structures are piercing the roof of the triangle. Specifically, they are 4 cutaneous branches which are coming from cervical plexus. Since we are dealing with head and neck region, so the bunch of nerves which are present here, they are called as cervical plexus. Now we are talking about cutaneous branches of the cervical plexus. And one more structure will be present, that is external jugular vein. So lesser occipital nerve. Here you can see this one is lesser occipital nerve. Okay, this is lesser occipital nerve. This nerve which is going towards the ear, this is called as greater auricular nerve. This is called as greater auricular nerve. And this one is the transverse cervical nerves. These are transverse cervical nerves. So here you can see this one. This is the lesser occipital nerve. See, one thing I have to tell you, that this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Just at the posterior border, we can see at a particular point from where all these cutaneous nerves are arising. You should remember this point, okay, from where all the nerves are arising. So this particular nerve is lesser occipital nerve. This one is greater auricular nerve, and these are transverse cervical nerve. This one is transverse cervical nerve. Another nerves are present, bunch of nerves, 3 supraclavicular nerves. They also arise here and they will move towards clavicle. I will show you these nerves in the next diagram. Okay. And external jugular vein. We have already previously seen external jugular vein. So these are the structures which are piercing the roof of the triangle. We have discussed boundaries, we have discussed roof. Now we are moving on to the floor. So these muscles, all the muscles which are present inside the boundaries below the roof, they are forming floor. We are talking from above downwards. When we are moving from above downwards, first muscle is semispinalis capitis. Okay, semispinalis capitis. Next, this green color one is splenius capitis. This one is splenius capitis. Then this yellow color, levator scapulae. Okay, levator scapulae. And this one is scalene medius. Scalene medius. Always remember the name of these 4 muscles: semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, levator scapulae, and scalene medius. Sometimes this muscle that is called as scalene anterior, that is also considered as a part of floor of the posterior triangle. Okay, so these muscles, these 4 muscles specifically, they are forming the floor of posterior triangle. Now all these muscles, they are covered by, okay, they are covered by a fascia. Okay, they are covered by a fascia. So all these 4 muscles, they are covered by a fascia. Which fascia? They are covered by prevertebral layer of deep cervical fascia. We have seen in deep cervical fascia, investing layer of deep cervical fascia, pretracheal layer and prevertebral layer. So a prevertebral layer, it is covering all these 4 muscles. Okay, fine. Now we are moving on to the subdivisions. We know the borders of posterior triangle of neck, and here we can see inferior belly of omohyoid. This is the inferior belly of omohyoid. The triangular space which is present above this belly, this is called as occipital region. This is called as occipital region. You can see it has been formed by posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle, anterior border of trapezius, and inferiorly what will be present? Inferior belly of omohyoid. Okay, and a triangular space which is present below this belly of omohyoid, this is called as supraclavicular triangle. Supra means above. Okay, supra means above this clavicle. That is why it is called as supraclavicular triangle. It is having another name also. We call it as subclavian triangle. Now see why these triangles are given these name. Occipital triangle this occipital triangle, here we have an artery somewhere here near the occipital region. This, can you see this artery, this red color structure? This is the occipital artery. That is why we call this triangle as occipital triangle. And here, okay, here, somewhere here, subclavian artery, third part of the subclavian artery is present. That's why we call this triangle as subclavian triangle. So we have seen boundaries, we have seen roof, we have seen floor, and now we have divided this triangle into two parts, that is an occipital triangle and a subclavian triangle. Okay. Now the most important part is the contents. Okay. The most important part is the contents of occipital triangle. We know the boundaries of occipital triangle. Now I am going to talk about the nerves which are present in occipital triangle. The first nerve, this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Just behind the sternocleidomastoid muscle, this nerve, okay, this nerve is accessory nerve. This nerve is accessory nerve. So this one is the accessory nerve. Okay, this is the accessory nerve, spinal accessory nerve. Next we have dorsal scapular nerve. Okay, next we have dorsal scapular nerve. So this structure is dorsal scapular nerve. Here we have dorsal scapular nerve. Along with that we have muscular branches, that is C3 and C4. These are the muscular branches. Okay, these are the muscular branches C3 and C4. They supply levator scapulae and trapezius. Along with this, we have already seen cutaneous nerves, 4 cutaneous nerves. The first one is, this one is lesser occipital. Second one is greater auricular nerve. Third one is transverse cervical cutaneous nerve. And fourth one is 3 supraclavicular nerves. Can you see these 3 branches? These are supraclavicular, 3 supraclavicular nerves. So once again I am going to repeat. First structure which you are able to visualize is spinal accessory nerve. This one is spinal accessory nerve. Second is dorsal scapular nerve. This part is dorsal scapular nerve. 4 cutaneous branches. 4 cutaneous branches are lesser occipital, greater auricular, transverse cervical, and these are supraclavicular nerves. Okay. Along with that, muscular branches C3 and C4. These are the muscular branches which supply this muscle. This is levator scapulae. Okay, and below this, behind this, we are having trapezius. Along with that, 2 arteries are present. Why this triangle is called as occipital triangle? Here you can see occipital artery. That is why this triangle, the name of this triangle is occipital triangle. So this is occipital artery. And below here we can see superior transverse cervical artery. Okay, along with this artery, vein also runs. So these are the contents of occipital triangle. Okay, these are the contents of occipital triangle. I hope it is clear. Next we are moving on to the subclavian or supraclavicular triangle. This is the belly of omohyoid, the space which is present below. We call this as supraclavicular triangle. What are the structures or what are the contents which are present in this triangle? There are many contents which are present in this triangle, but in this diagram we are able to see third part of subclavian artery. Because of this artery only, this triangle is called as subclavian triangle. So this is the third part of subclavian triangle. This is the subclavian vein which is accompanying this artery, and these are the 3 trunks of brachial plexus: upper trunk, middle and lower trunk. So these are the trunks which are present of brachial plexus. Other contents which are present in this triangle. So we have seen trunks of brachial plexus. Okay, so these are the trunks. This is the inferior belly of omohyoid. This is the inferior belly of omohyoid. Okay, below this we have subclavian triangle. So we have already seen these three. These are the trunks of brachial plexus. Now, nerve to serratus anterior. This is also called as long thoracic nerve. Next is nerve to subclavius. This is nerve to subclavius. Somewhere here we should have drawn nerve to serratus anterior, but in this diagram it is not seen. Next nerve is nerve to subclavius. So this is nerve to subclavius, which will supply to this muscle. Then supraclavicular nerve. Supraclavicular nerve. This one is supraclavicular nerve. Okay. Supraclavicular nerve. Okay. So these are the nerves which are present in supraclavicular triangle. Along with that, subclavian artery and subclavian vein. We can see also a terminal part. This is a terminal part of external jugular vein. Okay, this is the terminal part of external jugular vein. Along with that, we can see suprascapular artery. This one is the suprascapular artery. This will be accompanied by a vein and few lymph nodes So these are the contents of subclavian or supraclavicular triangle. These are the brachial plexus. यहाँ पे क्या होगा? Clavicle होगा. तो हमने क्या क्या देखा? Trunks of brachial plexus, nerve to serratus anterior, जो हमें बनानी है यहाँ पे. This is nerve to subclavius, supraclavicular nerve. These are the four nerves. Two arteries are present, subclavian artery, supraclavicular artery. ठीक है? There are two veins, subclavian vein and terminal part of external jugular vein, and along with that lymph nodes. So this was about the contents of supraclavicular triangle. यहाँ पे वही चीज enlarge करके दिखाई हुई है. The same diagram has been enlarged. This is the inferior belly of omohyoid. Above this we have occipital triangle and below that we have supraclavicular triangle. Now see few words, important words about spinal accessory nerve. This is the sternocleidomastoid muscle. At the posterior border, this spinal accessory nerve is arising. ठीक है, इसके नीचे जो मसल प्रेजेंट रहती है, that is levator scapulae. It is running there. Okay, this is the direction of muscle fibers. So this nerve is running parallel to these muscle fibers, and they will supply trapezius. Okay, it will supply trapezius. You should know nerve point of neck. Which is the nerve point of neck? We have already seen a point from where four cutaneous nerves are arising. That is lesser occipital, greater auricular, transverse cervical nerve and supraclavicular nerves. Okay, you can see here also in this diagram. So this is called as nerve point. This whole region, this is called as nerve point, from where we can see the origin of lesser occipital, greater auricular, transverse cervical and supraclavicular nerves. So this point is called as nerve point. Okay. Now we have already seen in the supraclavicular triangle brachial plexus. All the three trunks of the brachial plexus are present there. Okay. So for performing few surgeries of the upper limb, okay, they can be blocked. They can be blocked by giving local anesthesia. This is called as brachial plexus block. This is called as brachial plexus block. and in that region we have already seen few lymph nodes. Okay, those lymph nodes get enlarged. Okay, and most common reason is supraclavicular lymph nodes, they get enlarged. Most common reason is tuberculosis, and there can be breast cancer. Okay, and when these lymph nodes are enlarged, we see these lymph nodes as a swelling in the posterior triangle of neck, as a swelling of posterior triangle of neck. So I hope all the boundaries, apex, base, floor, roof, subdivisions and contents individually, they are clear to all of you. Please revise it again and again. Okay, that will be very helpful. Few points I would like to tell you. While writing an answer, always make sure that you have written boundaries of posterior triangle of neck with roof and floor. You have mentioned in detail about roof and floor. You have mentioned about contents. Before mentioning the contents, you should divide the triangle. There should be subdivision in the form of occipital and supraclavicular triangle. Then when you are describing the contents, make sure first you are writing the nerves and then you are writing the arteries. And last but not least, few points or few words about applied anatomy. Not much applied anatomy is there in posterior triangle of neck. And make sure that you have drawn a well labeled diagram. This will definitely help you gaining good marks. So, while writing an answer, while giving a presentation, presenting an answer, make sure that you have written very clear headings in bold letter. A diagram, an anatomy diagram. An anatomy is about diagram, diagram and diagram. Please draw a well labeled diagram with appropriate color coding. Okay, and next, whatever you write inside the heading, it has to be very relevant and specific. Follow these tips. Definitely you will gain good marks. So I hope this topic posterior triangle of neck is clear. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, you can WhatsApp me, or you can directly mail me. Thank you so much and good luck for ahead. If you like my video, please like and subscribe it. Please subscribe to my channel and also share the link with others. Thank you so much.